Hey family and family, it's me the Rottweiler guy. And today, we will discuss tail docking. Should you, or should you not, dock your Rottie's tail? So, let's get started. I get asked thousands of times throughout the day, do we dock tails, and do we recommend Rottweiler tails be docked? The short answer is, we don't recommend one way or the other. We love them both with their tails and without. The tails don't make the dog any more or less lovable, adorable, funny, or less than the perfect companion. Now, let me break down some things and explain. I just want to share what I have learned in my over 26 years of breeding. I'm new at this video thing, so if things get quirky, forgive me. There are tons of things that can happen to a Rottweiler's tail or any dog's tail. It really just depends on your lifestyle. If you are outdoorsy and do a lot of fierce hours of hunting, then there are a few things to consider. And even if you are a homebody and just keep your fur baby trapped in the house all day, which I pray you don't, there are still things to consider as well. Here are a few maladies that can happen which are contingent on the environment, and remember, just as with a Rottweiler, these things can happen to any dog's tail. Kennel tail, limber tail, and tail necrosis. In all honesty, tail docking, although it began as a way to prevent the Rottweiler from becoming injured, has now morphed into more of an aesthetic than a need for most of us. See, back in the days of the early U.S. settlers, Rottweiler tails were docked to prevent them from being hurt during the performance of different tasks, such as herding, ranching, and farming tasks like pulling carts. Now, however, it's very rare you see a Rottweiler pulling a cart, and even more rare herding sheep or cattle. There may be times you will see a Rottweiler helping with herding cattle or sheep on large specialized farms from time to time. However, that is specific to certain parts of the country. Many who hunt with their dogs as well dock the dogs to prevent them from collecting burrs and foxtails, causing pain and infection, and, due to the tails wagging, may be subject to abrasion or other injury while moving through dense brush or thickets. So let me give you a brief description of each of the maladies, and you have to really decide what is best for you. I love the tail on a Rottie. They are beautiful, but they are still gorgeous, gentle giants without one. So, let's get started. Kennel tail is caused by vigorously hard wagging of the tail and hitting it against hard surfaces continually for a long period of time. A dog could actually wag so vigorously while in a tight confined area that the skin and blood vessels at the tip of the tail become ruptured due to repeated strikes against a kennel wall or any vertical surface. Tiny home dwellers, and those who keep their furry family members locked up in a kennel that is tight on space. Be careful. Limber tail. This is not as common in Rotties, but it can happen. This is when a dog has a limp tail and is not wagging happily when you walk through the door. We all expect our dogs' tails to wag when we enter our home. It's the norm, right? If this is not happening, your fur baby may have a condition known as limber tail. This poor state has many names, including cold water tail, broken wag, swimmer's tail, frozen tail, tail paralysis, and sprung tail. This condition is caused by a muscle sprain or strain in the tail. This typically happens with dogs that swim a lot, but also happens with sudden drop in temperature and exceedingly long hours of exposure to excessive cold weather. This also happens when a dog is kept in a crate for many days continuously, which is cruel. Tail necrosis. This one is more serious. It happens when the dog beats its tail against objects, causing little tears and scrapes in the skin of the tail. These tears and scrapes get infected. If this isn't treated, the tip of the tail turns dark, even black, and the tail starts to release a foul smell. This could lead to the death of your baby if not treated. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. This is a rare issue and can happen to any dog, not just a Rottie. This is not something that Rotties are necessarily prone to. Because they are big dogs, they are rarely kept in confined spaces for long periods of time. But beware. These things happen, and we need to make sure we are spending quality time with our pup just as we would any family. And pay attention. They truly need you. Tail biting could be a sign but could also be fleas. So love on your baby, protect and care for them. I did not put any pictures of tail necrosis here. They are pretty nasty and I don't want to cause alarm. Remember, your lifestyle will dictate your needs. Proper care and attention to your fur baby should prevent or remedy any of the issues mentioned. Just to recap, we do not recommend either docking or non-docking of your new pup's tail. We love our furry family either way. I personally love to see the wagging tail. It tells me the mood of my pup, but I also love the sleekness of no tail and their little hump wags just as well. It is important that if you purchase a pup and want to keep the pup's tail, you must let the breeder know early after the birth of your new pup, as docking of tails must be done on or before the pup is 4 days old. Waiting any later, after bone development, changes the process to surgical amputation. Also, I want you to note that internationally in most European and South American countries, Iceland, Australia, New Zealand, Israel, South Africa, and many other nations, except in the US, tail docking is considered inhumane and is banned and illegal. That's just a note. Whether you choose to dock your dog's tail or keep it is totally your choice. We have both in our kennel because we purchase most of our dogs from European countries like Germany, and as we just mentioned, tail docking is illegal there. We do often choose to keep a pup from a litter or two if we get attached, which my wife thinks happens too often, and we therefore have dock-tailed Rotties as well. I will tell you, we do sell more pups with dock tails. This is mainly due to tradition. Some have told us a Rottie just doesn't look like a Rottie with a tail. So everyone has their own ideas of what they want in their home and what they don't. Just make sure the decision is one you are willing to accept for the life of your pup. Love on your Rottie today. They love you and they need you. Rottweiler guy signing out with a big 10-4.
We taking a break. Look at this little munchkin. You laying on the ground? What? On this cold ground? You cool with that? You cool with that? Yeah. Laying on this cold ground. Huh? What you think somebody gonna come rub you on your tummy? Huh? Think somebody gonna come rub you on that tummy of yours? Out here on the street. What in the world? It's wet too? He said, I don't care. Look at him laying out. I ain't never seen this before. Too funny. Yeah.
10-4.